My name is Doug Christensen. This video is going to serve as my final project submission for my Gene 402 class. And I realize this is probably a little unorthodox being out here on the walk, but I thought it was quite fitting. About a month ago, after interviewing Rob Rose, who's the assistant to the bishop of the local synod office of the ELCA, which is based actually not too far from where I live here in Tampa, Florida. I'm on this trail because after speaking with Rob, something that we talked about when we were talking about the inspiring change portion of the leadership challenge books that I brought up to Rob Rose, he said, if you are a leader, you've actually got to be the leader that you would want other people to lead you as. And so we talked about having a very balanced and healthy mental acuity, and as well as like physical health, that a leader should be well balanced in all areas, especially with home life and health wise. And so over just under a month ago, my wife and I kind of were inspired to live a healthier life. And so I've been out here. There's a nature trail which I get to hike. Looks pretty nice, well covered. And so what I've been doing is doing some of my office hours, if you will, out on this trail, making phone calls to the people I need to make phone calls to, and sometimes even just doing emails out here. It's just done wonders. I feel like my head's clear. And so when I met with Rob, he's a gentleman who has an obscene difficulty of needing to change a lot in the ELCA. The ELCA is, after a meeting with Rob, seen a declination of about 40% in membership in just about a dozen years. And so I know something that's really near dear to heart for him. He knows that there's a lot that needs to change. And so in order to do that, he's been focusing on making sure he's the leader that he wants to be as well, in order to win others over and to woo others and sparking changes. It's like he has to build that trust up with them. And so he's been connecting with the church leaders in the area and finding out kind of more about them, what's their drive. And what he found out, that the majority of churches that he's been working with, most of the leadership is above the age of 60, and they're getting close to their retirement age. And so he's seeing a need for a huge culture shift, because with all these retirees going out, there's not a whole lot of replacements coming in. It sounds like for every 10 guys that are looking to retire, he's only finding one replacement. And so he's been working really hard. I'm looking at my notes of trying to connect with the leadership and inspiring others to achieve the goals that they have. And he wants to lead by example by bringing on younger leaders who not necessarily are breaking the mold of the ELCAs, but it's clear that the ELCA is not making great steps. And so he's wanting to bring in fresh faces, people who have a drive, especially when it comes to young leadership, women in leadership as well. He's wanting to impart the ability to create leaders at a younger level, instead of kind of replacing older leadership with more older leadership, because clearly that 40% decline is not working for them. He's been meeting regularly with other leaders and encouraging them to embracing the change and challenging the kind of the status quo that they've been having. The idea that what they did in the 90s, the ELCA did in the 90s and early 2000s, was wonderful, but it's clear on what they're seeing in trends in the culture is it's just not working anymore. And so he's been challenging the status quo with trying to encourage leaders to find new approaches and new ways. Since meeting with Rob, I've personally been able to challenge my own church in that thinking. The church that I've been working at, the average age is about 65, and so there's a lot of older folks that are in it. And so we've designed a new service Sunday night. The whole focus has been trying to reach young families, specifically young families of those who don't normally already attend church. And so with me leading that service, I felt like an increased stress of just being able to, needing to lead a whole new other team, a whole new ministry. And so this is why my wife and I thought wise to find a way that we can encourage each other, that I can rely on her as my source of encouragement and support. And so we decided just to pick a kind of a healthy lifestyle of working out each day and finding ways to always be encouraging each other to read. So we have to read 10 pages every day, as well as go work out for about an hour every day. So when I met with Rob, his emphasis on his leadership style was to be that encourager of change, and allow the leaders under him to excel in the abilities that they do have. Some of them have led their ministry for 40 years, a couple of them 20s to 30s, and one guy, I guess, has been leading his church for 40 years. And so he's been trying to figure out ways of replicating that success in a new way. So a lot of it is orthodoxy of church, which is great. However, what we're seeing is a lot of younger folks in those congregations not understanding the orthodoxy, and so he's encouraging those leaders to excel on that orthodox church by education, teaching people why they do certain things, why the sacraments are important, why they have kind of some of the pillars of faith in their Lutheranism. I've been really encouraged by Rob Rose's leadership. In fact, we're going to keep meeting. We very, very loosely work under the same umbrella, but I think this interview encouraged us to continue to meeting. There's some insights that he wants to pull out of me, and definitely I want to apply some of these. The leadership challenge, the 5 models of inspiring others, encouraging ways to challenge the status quo, if you will, especially with these older congregations. Of the congregations that Rob actually directly oversees, only 2 of which have leaders under the age of 50, I think it is. And so he's really wanting to implement some of the policies and structures that I've set up in my ministry, and kind of share that with other ministries out in the other areas. I hope this video finds you well, Professor. I really greatly appreciate this opportunity to kind of grow as a leader. And so if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Have a great day.